What's up, y'all? This is Lady Miz, and this is Talk Therapy, where conversation is the cure. Today, I'm going to be talking about the life of a podcaster and the benefits of working from home. Now, let me just say that, of course, I'm giving you my version of it, coming from my point of view, the way that I do things. So I'm hoping that this is going to be helpful to the new podcaster, someone who's out there thinking about starting a podcast, or someone who just got started. I'm going to give you my experiences, the pros and some cons of working from home and the other things that I do. So let's get into it.
From the Ground Up Productions presents Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. She's here to listen and give advice, but brace yourself. If you can't handle the truth, because she's not sugarcoating a thing. She's getting to the root of the problem and addressing the ugly truth. You're now tuned in to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz.
So listen, here's the thing. I'm going to start it off like this. I was interviewing another podcaster a while back when I had first started, right? And one of the things that I asked him was, what keeps him going? Because I know that, listen, this is another oversaturated game, just like in hip hop. So I kind of wanted to know what drives him to keep pushing through, because, we have some ups and we have some down times, right? And one of the things that he said to me was, remember why you started. That was the advice that he gave. Remember why you started in the first place. So that advice that I got from him is the same advice that I'm going to give to you. Big shout out to him. I'm gonna put his name over here somewhere because I feel bad. I can't think of his name right now, the name of his podcast, but I'm gonna put him up because I want to shout that brother out. But definitely, that was one of the things that he said. And I'm telling you, when you're doing this, you got to have tough skin and you got to remember why you started. Because truth of the matter is, we lose track. We lose focus sometimes. You got 1,000 people telling you to do things all different ways, and you have to find your niche and you have to find out what works best for you. Okay, everybody's going to have a different way on how they like to do things. If you look around, there's many different podcasts and they all have their version, their own style, their own look. You have to find your own version, your own style, your own look, even if that means sometimes you got to switch it up. Don't worry about the mistakes. You're going to learn in the process. A lot of things that I tell people too, the tip that I'm going to give before I get into everything else is when you're talking, like how I'm talking right now, don't get so caught up in talking like so proper, because I felt that when I was doing that before, trying to be so perfect and come across, it wasn't authentic, and people could see that. If you're an artist, like, right, if you sing, if you rap, if you do any of those things, you're going to be able to relate to that part that I just said, because when you get in the booth, if you're not feeling it, if the vibe ain't right, if the energy ain't good, if you don't feel up to it, or you're second guessing yourself, people are going to hear it project through your words, right? So if somebody's in the, they're on the mic, and they're not really feeling what they're saying, we ain't gonna feel it either, because you don't feel it. Like, you want me to feel it, I gotta feel it from you first. So it's about how you project through that microphone. What are you saying? How are you coming across? What is your energy like? How are you, speaking? Now, don't get me wrong. Some people need very soft-spoken people, because they really want that type of energy to come across, because they want that calmness when you are talking and you are meditating and you are speaking a certain way. Like, I could flip it, okay? But to be honest with you, I can talk like that when I'm in that zone. But the true person who I am, I'm a little hype. But when I'm interviewing people, I tone it down. And I might switch it up a tiny bit, depending on who I'm talking to, because I don't want my guests to feel uncomfortable. And I try not to overtalk my guests, because I am a talker, right? I'm a talker. So I'm just saying, when you're interviewing people, you have to also understand that this is about them. Of course you want to engage. Of course you want to talk. And you want it to be a conversation, but remember who it's about in the first place when they come on your platform. So it's time for you to shine the light on that individual and what they are doing. Don't get too caught up in trends, because trends change. Now I'm not saying, if there's something that's trending and popping, if it fits your brand, or you're the type of person that do talk about multiple things, entertainment that's going on, to talk about it. But don't go too off track, because now, to tell you the truth, and I had to learn this the hard way, is if it's not in your niche, your target audiences, they're going to be confused. Like, why are you talking about that? If you're the type of person that's always talking about positive things, matter of fact, I'll give you an example. If you're the type of person that is always like, you're a church person, if you're a religious person, and then one day you come on here and you just like, cursing, doing all types of stuff, drinking, it doesn't align with who you are. So you're going to confuse your viewers. I like to remain who I am, but I like to also be versatile. And when I say that, I mean it in a way where, like, I'm still going to be myself, but I'm not going to overdo it where I'm being too perfect, because I don't get your expectations up too high, because I might have hood moments. That's all I'm saying. I might have hood moments. A classy, elegant woman, but I still, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm going to move on. But it's in me. Sometimes it creep out. That's all I'm saying. But also make it fun, right? You don't want to just be always melatonin talking. Now, again, there are some people that like that. But if you don't switch it up, sometimes I got calm moments. Sometimes I have hype moments. Sometimes I throw in little jokes, because you have to switch it up. It's almost like rapping. You got to change up the way you say certain words and deliveries sometimes. Otherwise, people get bored. And I'm going to tell you, especially in today's time, when people have short attention spans, they get bored. So even in your editing, sometimes you got to switch that up too. You got to make it, you might have to zoom in, come out, cut it. It has to be something that does something to the eye and brain, that there has been a change somewhere. And you have to know, another thing is, if it's not interesting to the person, it doesn't matter how well you think you did. If it doesn't interest the individual that it comes across, they're not going to watch it. Now, when we talk about doing a podcast, when we talk about you and your brand, stick to your brand. Don't allow people to knock you off track. Not what the fuck just happened there? These are bloopers. Oh my God. When I thought I had it together, the screen flashed and it went black. There we go. That's a perfect example. Some things is out of your control, depending on the type of things that you use to record your show. Now, if you like really legit with it, you like a G in the game, it's happening again. If you're a veteran, why is that happening? If you're a veteran in the game, things like that happen. You're using, you would use OBS, right? Most people use OBS, and you got to really be good with all of that stuff. If you don't want to have to worry about overcomplicating things, or you like things simple like me, I just prefer to use StreamYard, and I don't even use Zoom and none of that. StreamYard is like perfect for me, because I could stream to multiple places at once. I could record, I could come back, I could edit. As you see at the bottom, I could put little tickers at the bottom, and I'm still learning this, to be honest with you, but I like to use this because it's easier for me to maneuver around. Always use what is best for you to be able to maneuver around in what you're doing, so that you don't get, upset, or, start to feel like, this is too difficult. It's not. Use what works for you. I don't care if it's just using your cell phone to record and then later on editing it later. That's what I would say to people. But that's what I was saying. Don't get caught up in all of the stuff that people be doing and talking about. You can't please everybody. You just cannot please everybody. Again, remember why you started, because that's what's important. You started doing this for a reason. Remember why you did it and stick to that. Do not go off track. It is okay if you sometimes switch it up, because it's a learning process, right? You're going to be learning. I've learned I want this look, I want that look, I don't know. It's so much into this. It's about knowing your brand, colors, all of that. It's a lot, but it's not. But the most important thing to do is to get started. Just do it. Quantum leap. Just jump in and go for it. If you don't have somebody coaching you through every little step and you're sitting back waiting for somebody to help you through it, I have to allow me to be blunt without anybody taking it the wrong way. Don't nobody really give a damn about your dreams but you. You might have a couple of people that really love you, that want to see you succeed if you're lucky. But listen, at the end of the day, it's your dream. It's your passion. Whatever it is for you, it's what you want to do. And ain't nobody going to care about it more than you. Nobody has to tell me to come down here and record and to do any of the things that I do. I do it because this is what I like to do. So this is the difference. This is what's going to separate you from those who just like, it's a fad, those who just doing it because they think they want to just try to outshine you or be better than you. It's a different mindset when you're doing it. When you're doing it because it's coming from the heart and you love what you do, you don't really care about what nobody's doing. You might look at other people's stuff so you can learn techniques from them. But other than that, you're just going to be focused on doing you. And that's what I would suggest to anybody wanting to start a podcast. Just do you. Okay. Now, again, like I said, it's okay to talk about like trending things and stuff like that if it aligns with what you're talking about. But don't get too caught up in talking about gossip, right? I'm never going to forget this post, and I might not say it 100% right, but I'm gonna say it the way that I remember it to be for in my mind, the way I perceived it. It was Denzel Washington. He said, "Be careful what you say." He said, "Oh, what a responsibility that we all have, right? What a responsibility that we all have." Most people just want to be the first to say it, be the first to put it out there, right? Even if it's wrong, they don't care if it's a lie. They just want to be the first. They don't care who it hurts, who it affects, right? So I try to always hold that close and remember that, because that shows morals in the individual. It shows something about your character. There's been times where on our show, me and my husband, we talked about things that was going on and we gave our opinion on it. And I always like to use the word allegedly because we don't have proof of a lot of things that people put out there. All of the information that we get is online, right? So we got to be careful with what we say and how we come across to people and the information that we put out there to people. We got to be careful with that. Okay. So again, be careful. You don't want to just be one of the people that's just on here talking about people. Now, look, if there's some people that just don't care, they don't care. They don't morally, they don't care. And they might just be the type of people that like talking about people. They might be the type of people that like drama. They might not even like drama, but they know that other people really like drama. So they're willing to switch up who they are and get involved in that just so they could be, get the numbers that they're looking for. But I always say this, keep the numbers if it's going to bring me grief and if it's going to be a headache, if it's going to put me in a situation where I'm now surrounded by people who like drama. That means that I'm inviting drama into my life. I'm inviting drama into my show, into my platform. And if everything is based around that, then what I'm putting out is exactly what I'm going to get back. So always remember, what you do is what you'll get back. So if you see people complaining about how other people are and how they treat people, the things they got to go through with them, what are you putting out there? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What energy are you putting out? What message are you putting out? Keep that in mind, okay? For me, I like to keep it fun. I like to keep it classy. I like to talk a little junk here and there because, hey, I talk junk anyway, right? But I'm being who I am, and that's why I like the platform, because that's why I like to do what I do, is because I get to just speak my mind and say how I feel. Remember that. I feel. You might think something differently. And remember, your viewers are not going to all agree with you. Keep this in mind. This is the World Wide Web. What does that mean? You are and could be reaching people all over the world. If you think everybody all over the world is going to like you and agree with everything you have to say, and the minute that they don't, you have a problem with it, or you feel like, oh God, this person said this, then this ain't for you. Because you're going to run into people who are not going to like you, who's going to say mean things, who's going to disagree with what you have to say. And if that becomes a problem for you, then you might want to slow down and rethink if you really want to do this. You got to be willing and ready to deal with what comes with putting yourself out there on this mean old internet. So let me get into why we're here. But of course, I'm going to throw those little tips in there so that you guys hear, what you need to hear when it pops up in my head. But let's get into the deep part of this. Now, I'm going to discuss with you at this point. We're going to get into the struggles. I'm going to get into the struggles of being a podcaster. Remember, and I got to keep telling y'all this is from my point of view. You might not have the struggles. There might be somebody that don't go through none of this stuff. So guess what? This ain't for you. But there might be people who do, and there might be people who want to know this part of it. So that's what I'm about to get into right now. Let's talk about the struggles of a podcaster from Lady Miz's point of view. First of all, I want to talk about value. This is deep. I should have had some water with me because my mouth getting dry. Let's talk about value, right? So first and foremost, the cons in this is there are so many people that's doing this. So it's oversaturated like the hip hop game, right? So how do you get seen? How do you get valued? Most people that have big numbers, they won't value someone just starting out or their numbers are not as big, because they base everything off of that. Now, I look at numbers, but not like that. I look at people's character, who they are, and I look at the individual. So you could be somebody that don't have to have a lot of numbers, because the truth of the matter is, I don't. Okay? And I'm okay with that. One of the things that I learned when I was taking this entrepreneur class was they taught, and they taught about, there was a part that was strictly for social media. And one of the things that they talked about in this class was that numbers do not really matter to a real business person who is about money in their bottom line. Numbers matter to people who want to look a certain way, to those watching. It's like some people fake and buy numbers. I can tell. You know what I'm saying? Most people could tell when you're faking and you're buying views or you're buying likes, even certain comments. You can tell if you click on those accounts, they're bots. Okay? But hey, fake it till you make it. To each his own. I'm not here to judge anyone, because there's sometimes where people actually pay for a service. They think that they're paying for promotion, and the person that they're paying is actually purchasing bots too. So they might not even be intentionally doing it. How do I know? Been there, done that. But again, being valued by your numbers is what most people go off of. And like I said before, for me, I'm looking at the individual, how they move, their character, their vibe, their energy. If I like them, I don't care nothing about the numbers. What I want to know is if I believe in you. Do I believe in you? Do I believe in what you're doing? Do I believe in your vision? I'm not waiting for you to get on the screen so I can now ride on the boat and jump on the train with you. I like to ride out with people from the beginning, before you blow up, so that you know that when I'm there, I'm genuinely there. I'm not just there like most people trying to come around after it's already on and popping. Okay? We're not doing that over here. Okay? And that's real talk. So being valued is, like I said, it's difficult, because the first thing people do, I'm not going to say this lady's name. The truth of the matter is I don't even remember her name. But I'm interviewing different people. And there's one lady before, she goes, what are your numbers like? What are your numbers? She was so worried about that. First of all, she didn't have numbers. But she was so concerned about what my numbers was like, as if, like, lady, I'm giving you an opportunity to tell your story on my platform. Either you could take it or leave it. You don't have to be here if you don't want to be here, if it's all about the numbers. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of our stuff have great numbers, and some of them don't. What I learned is that you cannot focus on the things that you cannot control. Thank you, Lord. I got it. You cannot focus on the things that you cannot control. So what do? You focus on creating the best podcast that you can do. You focus on creating and being the best version of yourself when you're doing this. Just having fun and enjoying what you're doing. Get in the moment. You can control that. You can't control if somebody's going to click on that link, if somebody's going to like it, comment, or share it, or subscribe. You have no control over what somebody else is going to do. And you need to remember that. So when you come on here, if you want to be live and do it when you're live, if you only on here and you're watching the numbers, there's only one person, there's only 2 people. So I don't give a damn. I'll talk to myself because guess what? I'm just telling you that. What are you here for? Remember that. What are you here for? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the numbers ain't good because it's reaching the people. But if you can't control, if I did something that someone is not interested in, and I talked about lollipops, but I love lollipops, right? I don't really, but I'm just saying, example. But I'm talking about lollipops. And this person likes chips and they don't like lollipops. They're not really trying to hear what I gotta say. So they're gonna scroll by. I can't be like, yo, you didn't listen to what I said because it means something to me. It doesn't mean that it means something to you. And that's the part that we have to understand in this whole industry of podcasting, baby. Okay? Another thing is, sometimes you might interview people who have a higher status. And look, no shade to anybody that's been on my show. I appreciate the independent artists. I appreciate the legends. I appreciate the up and coming artists. I appreciate the pioneers. No shade towards nobody, but I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. I gotta keep it real, okay? And I ain't capping on this. This is real talk. Here's the thing. I ain't capping on none of it, but I'm just saying, whatever. Anyway, one of the things that I noticed when we talk about value is that people of a certain status, they might come on your platform. They might think they're coming onto your platform, and it might be true that they're doing you a favor because they are at a certain level, right? A, B, C, whatever you want to call it, however you choose to put them in, whatever category you put them in. But they're at a status that to people, they have a higher level in the game, right? So they might come on, in their mind, they're doing you a favor. They might come on and say, okay, it's an opportunity for me to talk to your audience to see what how that's going to benefit me. But some of them will not share your stuff. Do you know why? Because they don't value you. I'm sorry. I know, if my daughter was sitting here, she would probably tell me, Ma, don't say it like that. Be careful with what you say. But if I'm too careful with my words, you ain't going to get the message. They don't value you because your numbers ain't high and you're not big enough for them to brag about that they've been on your platform. So that's why they ain't going to share your stuff. Okay. This is why when I see big name artists go and talk about the Oscars and how they don't value us and we need our own platforms. Well, when you got people like us that's out here providing a platform because we see something in you and we value you and you don't reciprocate that back, stop playing with me. I'm telling you. When it happens, but look, I used to get mad. I can't get mad. I got to say, all right, they don't see value in what I'm doing. And that's okay because they don't have to. You better see it though. Okay? That talk therapy. Let's keep it real all day. You better see the value even when they don't. So when I see them talk about those other places that don't even want to acknowledge them and they ain't going to do this, but they looking to be validated from them, but they won't validate us. When we telling you, I see you and I support you and I believe in you and I'm a fan of yours, but that don't mean nothing to them. It got to come from somebody else. Get ready for that if you're coming in this field. I'm sorry. I don't care if somebody get mad about how I said it. And if they take it personal, it's because the shoe fit. Moving on. The other thing is people always wanting things from you for free. I did a repost of another guy who talked about this, and it is messed up. So, for example, I'm gonna tell you, most of the time, when there's somebody who do have higher numbers or at a certain level, them coming on the show is supposed to be beneficial for us, right? It's not always beneficial. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it's more beneficial when the independent artist is on the person on the come up, because they're gonna promote it and push it more. The other one ain't pushing it. They ain't even putting you in their story. Okay, I'm just being honest here. So when we talk about the doing something for free, right? You're now doing an interview for free. You're putting it on your platform, and they're letting you use their information, which is great. So that is a form of value. So you got to respect that. Now we charge for interviews on our show. This is our business, and I'm gonna get into why it's important to do business from home in a minute. We not like the people who pop bottles at the club, spending $500 on a bottle when I know that bottle costs $4 or $40 at the store. That's not us. Okay? So back to what I'm saying about the valuing part, and people not valuing, sorry. People not wanting they want everything for free. Now, if I charge, I have a form that people fill out. There's a certain way that I do things. Certain people don't even want to do that. Certain people don't want to respect the way you move as a business person, because from the ground up productions is a business. It's a business. Let me stop. Where did I get that from? I don't even know. Anyway, it's a business. So this business, we have to keep the lights on. So with that being said, if we got to keep the lights on, we have to find ways to monetize, right? So how do you monetize as a podcaster? You can charge for interviews. We do more than just this. So some of our money comes from other places. We could charge for advertisement. Advertising what you got going on. It could be a small commercial clip or just a ticker at the bottom, like you see here on the screen going across. You see that going across? Advertise your brand here. I put that there so I can show you as an example throughout the show. Okay? People might see that and read it and say, oh, let me check this out and see. You advertising yourself. So a lot of times people don't want to give you anything. So for me, even as someone who is an independent, I'm gonna call myself an independent artist because I do put out music, but I ain't gonna lie, it's not consistently. But even as somebody like myself, I always understood you have to invest in yourself. So if I needed somebody to promote me, to get on somebody's platform, I hire a publicist. Okay, this is how I met a lot of the people that I met too. I hire a publicist. I'm gonna invest because I understand that everybody is business. But what I also understand is everything is not always monetary, but it can be valued the same value as money. So you might not be able to give me this amount for the interview, but you might be able to do this. Let's barter now, okay? One hand washes the other. Don't just use me for you to come up, but now it's nothing there to benefit me. That's using. Okay, so be ready for that part too. Another thing that you're gonna have to worry about is people not being supportive. There's gonna be times where people are not being supportive, and you cannot get mad because I already told you before, this is your passion. It is not theirs. This is what you're trying to make happen. Now, if you get yourself a team that believes in you and you're lucky to have that, then that's great. But other than that, the grind is serious. You're gonna have to grind. Y'all have no idea. I grind on a regular basis, okay? And I still work a 9 to 5. People wouldn't even know that, okay? I work a 9 to 5. I am a homeowner. I am a landlord, okay? I have other businesses. All the interviews I have to set up and do and promote. I make the flyers. I do the editing, all of this stuff. I do the clips. And I got to go back sometimes and fix things and do things over. And I'm learning in the process. But the one thing about me, it don't break me. I'm happy to learn something new. And that's what I do. And I'm recording these shows. I have several ideas, so many different things. And I like to do other stuff. Y'all know I have my Boss Move Snacks. I have my peace mentoring business. I do workshop classes when I need to teach people certain things. I'm an author, so I like to put out kids' books and books, other books that about myself or about other things like manifestation. Or I'm working on a new book now called For the Sake of, like, why do people stay in relationships? For the sake of what? And I talk about that, right? So I'm an author, all right? I'm looking to get into film. I'm an inspiring actor. And I had little small clips. I ain't never really see them come to the forefront, but I have had them. So at this point, what do? I just keep grinding. I keep grinding, but I do a lot, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to do this. I want to backtrack. I want to backtrack a little bit just to talk about why it's. I'm gonna tell you this because I have to be honest. Why it's not good to buy fake views, likes, and numbers. First of all, you might be fooling people, but if they're not interested in what you got going on, then eventually they'll fall off anyway. So they're not real true fans. Okay, they're not. They're not. They're there for the moment and they're gone. It's like, okay, no disrespect to the new rappers because some of them I like. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna use the new school rappers versus the old school rappers. The old school rappers have forever fans. They do. They don't ride trends. They created a brand for themselves where they have forever fans. People from my age group will always remember their music. They're legends. They're pioneers in the game. You know, we consider them like real hip hop, right? You have the newer generation. A lot of them sound the same, and they ride the wave of what's hot now. But when it's not hot, they not. You know what I mean? So it's like their fans just disappear. Okay. So you got to know, like J. Cole even spoke about something similar about that. I forgot the name of the song. Can't think right now about that. But the whole point is, which is another part of what I'm going to say, you got to know your audience too. J. Cole once mentioned in his song, he once mentioned in his song that when you're putting out content and you're just riding the trend, again, like I said, when the trend is over, so is your career. But you have to learn how to switch up your message. Like Jay-Z, I don't care if some of y'all don't like him, I do. You have to learn how to switch up your message because your fans, you know that they're getting older. So when your fans get older, how many older fans are going to want to be in the club hearing the same old hood stuff? They're going to mature. They got a family. Their mindset should be different. So if you have the same mindset, you know that most of the time that the person did not evolve and grow. No disrespect, but I'm keeping it real. So the reason why am I saying this? I'm saying this because you have to understand your audience and what they're looking for from you. If you're going to be giving your audience something, what are they looking for from you? If you once talked about this and they're older now, who's on that vibe anymore? Like, yo, we grown here, okay? We grown. Ain't nobody talking about all that like that. Like, we talking about other things. We talking about real estate and investments and homes and land. You know what I mean? And building generational wealth. We're not talking about the clubs and popping bottles. It doesn't mean that we don't want to go out and have fun. We're just not we're not wasting our money on that stuff. You focus on what you can control. You can't control what people are going to do, how they're going to respond. You can only control what you can do and stick to that. Another thing about buying fake numbers and stuff that I wanted to that before I move off, because I realized I didn't say this part. I'm gonna give you an example why it's not good. Facebook, Instagram, these platforms. I'm not talking about TikTok and stuff because I'm not that familiar with how it works. I know stuff, but I'm not going to speak on it because I'm not 100% sure on certain things. So I'm going to stick to what I know. Facebook, Instagram. When you buy fake numbers and fake views, Instagram has an algorithm where they look at people who click on certain things. Oh, they clicked on this. That means they like it. You ever see where you're talking about something or you hit something and all of a sudden, every time you turn around, it's something popping up that's on your feed that's promoting and showing you something? They might be trying to sell you something. Why? Because they're either listening to you, or watching what you click on. And we all signed up for it, whether you like it or not. Okay, if you on social media, you click, you agree to those terms and conditions without reading all that stuff like we normally don't read. I'm sorry to say it. And you clicked on it, you accepted it. So you accepted them to spy on you, to listen to you, to watch you, and to track your activity on social media. So why am I telling you that? I am telling you that because when that happens, you are now accepting all of for them to watch. And what's happening is it's targeting all those fake accounts. So Facebook and Instagram, they only show your content to a certain group of amount of people that if it gets a small amount of likes and it doesn't have that traction, they don't really push it out to people. when people start hitting it, saving it, liking it, sharing it, now they say, oh, they really like this. Okay, you know what? I'm going to push it to more people who are not their followers. So that's how people who don't follow you get to see your content, because they watched your traction. So when you have fake accounts, it affects you because they might be targeting fake people who don't exist. They just don't. Right? So it's not good for so many reasons. And again, do you really want to look like that person buying all those fake numbers when you know people like me could easily click on it and look at the account to say, this is a bot, this is the bot, this is the bot, this is fake, one real, fake, 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 fake. Like I said before, the entrepreneur class taught me that it's not about how many numbers you have, how many people are there. It's about how many paying customers are actually there. Are they paying? Are they your real supporters? You know, if you were selling something, would they be willing to buy it? Do they know you, like you, and trust you, right? If you just there to just look big, then I mean, you know, you're fooling other people and you're fooling yourself. But hey, fake it till you make it, rock on. But I'm telling you, it ain't cool, and people know it. People know it. If they really, but there's a lot of people who don't know it. So hey, maybe you'll get them. I wouldn't do it though. And I got to tell you, it's hard. It is. Do you know how hard it is when I see certain things that I post and I see like, damn, this number was not freaking good. Oh my God, like damn, you know, and I'm looking and I look at other stuff and I'm like, okay, well, this person, wait a minute, that's all fake. Do I really want to make it look big so people could see me in that light? It would be nice, but I ain't gonna do it. I ain't doing it. I'm not. I'm to be honest with you, to be so honest with you, like I am grown. I try to keep it as classy but real as possible. But there's an inner MC Shan inside of me. But I don't put it out there because I know it'll be a problem. So I just go on his post and like all his stuff and just live through what he say, because I be agreeing with almost 95% of what MC Shan says. Okay? I'm just saying I do. As I said before, you know, we don't want to come off as those people who are, you know, they doing certain things to look a certain way, right? Meaning you're wasting money on spending for fake likes and views and all of that stuff, when that money could have actually went into real things that can really help you. You could be investing into your platform and investing into maybe equipment or upgrading on something, you know, things like that. You know, if you're gonna try to reach people, use Facebook, use their promotional stuff, or people that you know, ask them to share it. Be very careful with you know, some of these people who say they're going to promote you, because it might backfire. All right, now I'm gonna jump to this and I might go back a little bit on a few other things, but let me get to this part too, because this is also very important. Okay, what is the benefit? Because I know a lot of people, right, want to know this part. What is the benefit of doing your podcast from home? First of all, you got less expenses. There's no way I'm going somewhere, paying for a location. Rent is too high. Prices is too high. I can't go somewhere and pay for a location just so I can say, yeah, I got a spot. I got a spot at home. I got the space. I got everything I need right here. I don't need to look big to somebody. If you only respect me if I'm spending money at a place, then I'm not the one for you. I ain't doing it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing it. If it works in my favor, if I'm bringing in more money and it'll help me get more money for what I'm doing, then if it doesn't make financial sense, and if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Why am I over here spending money to be somewhere just so I can show people, look at me, and I ain't making no money? But I want to look big. I want to look a certain way. I'm gonna make myself look big right in my crib. Why? Let me tell you why. Because there's so many benefits of you doing it here. First of all, it's a tax write-off. I don't care if you're renting or owning. You can write off part of your rent. You can write off, yes, you can write off part of your rent. Did you know that? Because that space that you use, if you have a business, go create an LLC. It's like $200, $250. It's easy. You can do it yourself. Go create an LLC. You don't need to really hire Zoom. And I'm not trying to like talk bad about companies. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to mention them. You could do it yourself. I'm going to leave it like that. You could go online, answer all the questions, do it yourself, get your LLC, get an EIN number, open up a bank account, and using that EIN number. It's like a social security number for your business. Okay. And now you have a bank account and you use that for the funds coming in and out, apply for business credit cards, and now you in business. Now, when you're spending things like on your electricity bill, which you have to use for your podcast, you can write part of that electricity bill off too. Your phone bill, your internet. Yo, why would you go put yourself in a more financial burden in a time like now when things is crazy expensive and most people can't even afford most of the stuff that they're doing just to try to prove to somebody that you popping like that? I'm not doing it. No, I'm popping right here in the crib, yo. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, no, it's popping right here. It's popping right here because boom, I got my studio set up. I got the booth if I want to record. We got look, everything I need is right in the crib. I come out when I need to pop out, but I don't need to always pop out. So I'm here, popping in. You understand what I'm saying? Hey guys, if you want to sponsor our show or place an ad on our podcast, please contact us at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com, or you could give us a call at 845-288-2989. Let's collab and reach our audience. All right. Whew. I had to go. See, that's the only thing. Those are the cons, right? When you are working from home, you get distractions. I had to stop to go answer the door, etc. But at the end of the day, I'll take that over a fee. Be smart about what you're doing. Do not let people bully you or make you feel bad into thinking that you need to be doing things a certain way. If you go on YouTube or TikTok, you can find many videos where people do their setup at the crib. People are not spending all this extra money because then you're going to have to hustle to make the money that you spent. See, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Remember, business is about making a profit. Are you breaking even? Like, what we doing? Because if let's say you've written a spot for $1,000 a month, right? I'm just throwing an easy number out there. You now have to hustle to make that $1,000 back just to break even. Now there's no profit there yet. Now, if you don't make the $1,000 back, now you're in the negative. You're not making nothing. You're actually in a hole, right? So let's say you made $1,000 back. Great. But now if you want to make a profit, you got to make more than $1,000. Now, I'm not saying that people can't do it and it can't be done. What I'm telling you is I think about those things. There's times I did things for free many a times because I see value in other ways. So it's not always about money with me, but in that sense, it is, right? So no, you're not getting me to spend money for something that I could do in my house when I could utilize everything I have here and also write it off as tax. When I have guests here, when I've had guests here come in to interview them, and I provide food for them, drinks, in the whole 9 yards. Okay, I feed the people that come around. Like I really treat this like a business. Okay, because it is, and I own the name. I trademarked it. It's mine. I'm serious about what I'm doing. Okay, so, but when I have people come through, I feed them, and I could write it off. I save the receipt. I write it off at the end of the year. There's benefits to doing it at home, and you know what the other benefit is? Doing it at home, virtually. If I can't get to the person to see the person, I can do as many interviews as I want online. And I ain't got to worry that they can't show up. Did something happen? No, don't worry. Just click that link. What's good? How you doing? They on the other side of the screen. I'm over here. We chopping it up. It's all good. If there's an event, I'll pull up, but I don't have to always be there. When money is flowing and it's like really good, then we could, it might be beneficial then. And yeah, you might say, well, I don't want certain people in my house. Neither do I. So then we do it virtually. That's another reason to also do it virtually. You don't have to have everybody coming to the crib. So again, it's cost effective, okay? It's cost effective to continue to do your business in your crib, in your apartment, wherever you are. Save your money on renting spaces for production and do it at home. You have flexibility. is so important. You can do it whenever you feel like it, so you don't have to worry about, is there working hours, office hours, whatever the case may be. You could do it morning, noon, and night. If you feel like, hey, I get up and I just want to record something, it's 2 a.m, but I'm up and I got the energy and I'm feeling good about saying this and I want to record it, you get right up and you do what you do. You don't have to drive somewhere, go, like, it's a lot into that. You're comfortable in your own house. It don't get no comfortable than that unless you got people in your house that you're not comfortable with. Other than that, it's your crib. Do you, boo? It allows you to be yourself, be more natural. You don't have to worry about, I can't say this. I hope they didn't hear that. Like, just you're talking, you're just free to do it the way you want to do it. Like I said, you're eliminating travel time, gas, but you can write it off. Don't get me wrong. You can write off that other stuff if you have another spot too, because somebody might be like, well, I could still write it off. Yeah, that is very true. You can rent a spot, write it off because it's business. But guess what? Now, again, you just got to recoup that money. Now you're working hard to now break even. And then you got to make your profit. So keep that in mind. But when you don't have to travel, you're not worried about gas or toll or parking or mileage on your car. Like, you still getting the job done. So that's a blessing. So here are some cons that are not good. And which I already spoke of some, but I'm just going to kind of go over it again. Again, distractions. People talking loud in the background in your house. People not, because it is your business. But most people, when you work from home and you do certain things, like a lot of times it's not respected by, your family because they see you all day. So they ain't even taking it that serious. But they don't know, nah, you got to be quiet because I'm recording right now. So people talk loud. They walk the door, somebody's at the door. Somebody's doing this. Somebody's opening the door. The Alexa's going off. The phone is ringing. You got to really try to put yourself in a predicament where those things are not affecting you during your show, because they've done it plenty of times with me. Having limited space, right? So if you have limited space, then it's okay, so where am I going to do it? But to tell you the truth, if you can find yourself a nice little corner and hook that corner up and do it. I'm still in the process of setting this up for when me and my husband is doing it together, right? He's busy off doing what he do, and I'm working on building this. So this is my job. This is what I do. When he comes on board to help me with the technical things in the back. That's what he does, But for me, everything else I'm doing. And I'm okay with that because this is what I wanted to do. I am a workaholic. If you are somebody like me who's a workaholic, okay, then that could be a con when you work from home because you don't know how to clock out. Turn it off. It's always there. It's always access. And I'm so addicted to work. I had to tell myself to calm down, tell myself to relax. When I take a break, I take long breaks because I need them. I might go away out the country, somewhere on the beach, just enjoying life and really trying to bring it down the notch because I can't help that my generation or the way that I brought up, it's always hustle mode. It's go, get her, boot, boss, movers and shakers and go, right? So I'm always boom, 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 trying to make, that's me. I got the energy. And to tell you the truth, when I do stop, I'm bored. I'm okay, I'm relaxing. Okay, this feels good. All right, how much longer I got to do this? Because I'm ready to get at it. At the end of the day, you got to know when to turn it off, when to clock out, when to say, okay, that's it. This is what you have to be able to know how to do when you are working from home. You have to. Otherwise, overworking yourself is not good either. And that I learned the hard way. So listen, before I get up out of here, I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the expenses that it costs to do a podcast. Now, first and foremost, let me just say, if you have a phone, you could do your podcast strictly with your phone. And that's real talk. Get yourself a tripod or anything you can sit your phone on. If you can't afford a tripod, sit your phone on that bad boy and start recording yourself. Okay? Just start recording yourself. Just start talking. Look back at your stuff. Then make adjustments. Oh, let me see what I did here. Oh, I don't like the way I said this. I don't like the way I did that. I don't like how that looked. And make adjustments to your liking. You have to be comfortable with what you're doing. I always, most of the time, go back and look at my shows so I can say, I don't like how I said this. I don't like how I did that. One of my problems is I'm a fast talker, and not fast talker like I'm trying to get over on you. I just talk fast. My mother hates that. So, and I'm trying to calm it down. I think I've been talking fast on this episode. Y'all let me know. But I'm trying. I'm trying to calm it down. But let me tell you about what's the problem with talking fast. When you're editing, that's an issue. Because when you're trying to chop things out, if you're like, oh boy, I didn't say this word right, or I didn't do this, because sometimes I'm talking and my brain is just going, you know, and I'm speaking and I might have said something, but that's not what I meant. But it's too late now because I already did finish the recording. I'm now looking back. I can't go in and I ain't going to rechange and come back and be like, and I said, because you're going to tell everything's different anyway. The tone going to be different, all of that. So you got to know how to tone it down when you are talking, if that really means something to you, if you're going to edit. If you don't care about edit and the straight raw footage, then do you. But you do have to tone it down because you have to slow down when you are talking because it allows you to get time in between your words to chop and edit the video better without the ticks and the little things that my husband can't stand. That's where he comes in. When I edit the videos, he'll look it over. He'll be like, fix that, fix that, fix that. And although I'm telling you I hate it, he's right. So I do it because I have to, or he'll do it if I don't feel like it. Whew. I'm trying to rush because I got something to do too, by the way. That's another reason why I'm talking fast. So let's really briefly go over these expenses real quick. It costs a lot to do this. If you have your phone, that's where I was at. If you have your phone, that's enough to get it started. If you have an iPad, enough to get it started. If you have a computer, enough to get it started. If you want to upgrade to cameras or use cameras, you can. But the truth of the matter is, to be honest with you, sometimes, you know, using the iPad or the phone, they 4K, baby. People be shooting movies with them joints. So you can still have an official looking podcast with your phone or your iPad. You could. So do it like that if that's what works for you. If you want to get savvy and get multiple camera setups so you can do different shots, an angle here, a full angle, a close-up, you could do that. Or if you don't have that, you can make it look like that when you edit the video. Now you only need one camera. So, you know, think about that when it comes to your expenses, when it comes to podcasting. You're going to need microphones. You're going to need headphones. You might need the Rodecaster. The Rodecaster is the thing for the sound effects, and you can plug different mics in there to talk so different people, it all comes out of one place. The headphones is all coming out of one place. It's so many different things you could do on that Rodecaster, all right? So the Rodecaster is another thing. You can play music, play songs, play background stuff, all of that. You want to use a system that works for you. I use StreamYard. I really like StreamYard a lot. It's so easy to use. But some people, when you really going up a notch, you want to go to OBS. Like we were using OBS before, but I'm gonna be honest because my husband is really good with that. I am not that great with that. So I use what works for me so that I can keep going. Like right now, because he cannot do this at this moment, right? Because he's doing other things. I can still come on here and do the shows and interview people because I know how to use StreamYard. StreamYard is user friendly. So some people use Zoom. Use whatever you want, but StreamYard works for me, okay? You can play different clips, different videos, all while we're talking. Okay, StreamYard is also like a software. So this is a software that you're using to be able to do what you do. I can go live like I am right now on multiple platforms at once, okay? Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, even Instagram, even though I haven't figured out the Instagram, I'm being lazy. I think there's some few extra steps you got to do with that, but you could go live to that as well too, all from one spot. Okay, so I'm telling y'all this because I want to see y'all win. I want to see you do what you love. I know I don't like gatekeepers, right? So we got to share the knowledge to be able to help the other person. Let's support each other, and let's be a community of people where we know how to support each other and we know how to shout each other out without thinking that everybody's the ops just because we doing the same thing. You're not the ops, so we just doing what we love. So all right. Internet service, you're going to have, that's another expense. A phone line service if you want to answer phones, or you could use your cell phone, but that's still another expense. Lights, camera, action, but lights, you need lights, lighting. You see, like, I don't even have my sign yet because I'm not done with finishing my area. But the way I have it set up, I have 2 chairs here. I have my plant. I got the microphones. You could do the standing mics, or you could do this, or you can even do this is just sitting on the desk. I got a little plant here. I got a candle. It's cute. And I got stuff for sale. If anybody needs some stuff, I got stuff for sale. I got the green screens, the whole 9 yards. So anytime I want to switch it up, I could do that. But I'm just telling you, these are the expenses that you need, tripods and stuff like that. You're gonna need money for marketing, right? So you might need to get programs like Canva to do different editing and flyers and this and that when you're putting stuff out. You might need to do how you're going to edit your videos. You got to pay for those things. You might want to pay for, like, what are you using to edit your videos? Are you using iMovie? Oh boy, what is it called? Final Cut. You could use InShot. Like, it's different things out there that you can use. Use what worked for you, because that's what I do. Okay, I use what works for me. And you'll get used to doing certain things as you go on. You'll learn about the music, which you can use, and the licensing. But this video is not about all of that. Like I said, promotion, marketing, stuff like that. You might want to pull up. You might want to do live interviews when somebody's having an event. We do a lot of those, because from the ground up, it's not just about us doing podcasts. We go to events, we interview the promoters, the artists that they have there. It might be people walking by. We capture the moments, and we take those moments, and we highlight what we feel would make that party, to show the best moments of that party or event. So my husband and I, we're doing, he does most of the video. I'll get some B-roll, but he's capturing the moments. I'm getting some moments, and he's behind the camera. I'm doing the interviews, and then after it's done, then I take it and I edit it. I take everything and I edit it. I pick out everything that I think is the best part of what happened for the night. After I'm done editing it and putting the music behind, chopping it up, putting the effects, doing all that stuff, then I do 2 versions: a small clip that I put to promote, and then a full version of a recap of the night. That is how we do it, and we charge for that. You want us at your events. This is our business. You have to pay us, okay? Because here's the thing. We're working. At the end of the day, it costs us to get there. It costs us gas. It costs us toll. It's mileage on our car. We might have to pay for parking. We are working. We are recording. And after it's all said and done, and y'all had a great time at your event and the party's over, we're still working when we go home. I'm still going through all the footage. Time consuming. After I'm done going through all the footage, I'm then taking all the clips and going through it again. And then I have to edit it. And then I have to look at it again. And then I have to edit it and look at it again. And then I got to give it to my husband. And he got to look through it. And then I got to fix it if I need to fix it again. And then I got to send it to the people. Do you like it? Yes, it's good. I'm done. You don't like certain things? Guess what that means? More time. I got to edit it again. So what am I saying? I say all of that to say this. It costs to have us there, because we are putting in work. Don't take advantage of us and our time. We love what we do. Value us because we value you. All right? I'm going to end it on that note. I hope that this was helpful to somebody out there. If you want to start a podcast, if you want to thinking about it, or you're doing it and you're trying to find ways on how to make it better, then I hope that some of this was helpful. I'm not saying that I am the best out there, because I'm not. I still see people where I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Oh, I could do this or I could do that. We all are trying to evolve in this game, right? But there's no hating over here. I don't mind sharing tips. I don't sit there and be like, trying to do stuff because I'm trying to outshine anybody or be in competition. Competition is good sometimes. I'm not saying it's not, but it all depends on how you coming at it. I'm not there to steal people's ideas and, copy off of what they're doing. A lot of times for me, it's about learning, and I don't have a problem with asking questions, and I don't have a problem with answering questions. But if you want a lot of my time, it costs, and that's a consultation. So again, this is Lady Miz, and this is Talk Therapy, where conversation is secure. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Lady Miz on Talk Therapy. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.